a missing cat situation last night. We are still working on getting her back. Well, she's missing. She's up in a tree, but we just want to have her back on the property. So we had a late night and kind of a chaotic morning. But here's the puppies. We haven't brought them out yet. I wanted to show you guys the awesome gift that SS had sent to us from Big Blanket Company. Before I pull the puppies out, this thing is, this is the blanket that we were telling you guys about that SS had sent us. It was so kind of them, and we were so surprised. It was such a wonderful, thoughtful gift for them to send. So thank you, SS. We are so grateful. We love this, and it's going to be so absolutely perfect for the puppies. We're so excited to use it. Of course, Drew had to put it back in the bag, so. Gotta pull it out first, but grab the puppies. Pull them out. Here, puppies, why don't you start coming out? Go potty. Go potty. Hi there.
Good morning, everybody. Or afternoon, whatever that is.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say good morning to everybody? Go potty. Who needs to go potty? Oh, Daisy. Oh, Daisy. Can you shut that behind you? But so we thought the first useful spot for this wonderful blanket would be over the rug where all the puppies want to chew it up. I don't know why. I'm sorry. I don't know why you had insisted on putting this back in.
Sorry, Amelia.
Yeah. Is this like, why don't we store it in the box? Well, there's just no point in doing this every time. There we go. Yay, we got it.
Alright, puppies. Ready?
Yeah, I was gonna like lay the whole thing out, and then it's like they can have their whole playtime on top of it. I suppose we might need to. This thing is so big. It's so huge. That's what makes it so awesome, though. It's like a sleeping bag material, but it's waterproof. It is waterproof. It's not just. And they love the material. They're having so much fun with it. Well, you know, you can. Here, can we pull it this way a little bit? Just like kind of even it out in front of the dining table. There we go. There we go. And now we can put even their food dish. So when they're eating and they get their soggy bowl, it comes out like it's not going to get mashed in the rug. This blanket is so multi-purpose. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Daisy. But like we can take it outside even and just lay it down to have sort of a home base with Mama Dog, and like when we go out in the morning, it's only for probably in total we're out there for about 30 minutes. But like when as they get a little bit older, we'd like to take them out for longer, pretty much as long as they tolerate. Delilah's collar is really loose. Yeah, I think it's just the collar is just bad now. Like it needs replacement.
Come on, puppies. Puppies.
Missy's doing really, really well. For anybody who is wondering, her little puppies are moving.
Good boy.
They're even rolling around. I was feeling them, and if I'd never been pregnant, I probably wouldn't have recognized it. But I was feeling her belly, and what I was feeling, the puppy I was feeling itself wasn't moving. Okay, let me take her car off. The puppy I was feeling wasn't moving, but I could feel behind it that same sensation of them kind of rolling around, not like outward kicks, but just them rolling. And it just reminded me of knowing like the baby was kicking on the inside, and it wasn't anything Drew could feel, but I could feel it. It was those kind of kicks, and so it was just really cool. But she's due in less than 2 weeks, so for some reason I was thinking she was as far along as they were old, and I was thinking she was 5 weeks along, not 6 weeks. She's due a week from Friday, this upcoming Friday, a week from then. And so we're taking her temperature just to make sure, because of the possible placental abruption that one of the puppies may have had. We're taking her temperature just to make sure she doesn't get an infection. In most cases, because it's a sterile environment, if all else is, like all else being equal, and there not being anything else going on, assuming the sac is intact and everything is intact, it's a sterile environment in there, and so it wouldn't be a source of infection. And the vet even commented that a lot of times the pups just kind of stay sort of intact until they're delivered. But if it is compromised in any way, then it will start to decompose and decomposition. That's where we worry about infection. And so that's what we want to watch for. Because we can't tell exactly what's going on with the puppy, we can monitor her temperature and just make sure she's not getting an infection. But so the vet doesn't think she's at any increased risk of like losing the litter because of it. She doesn't expect her to get an infection. It's just an extra precaution to take. Because like I said, it's a sterile environment, and so there's really no until they deliver and it's exposed to air and everything, it usually just mummifies. And so that's why they don't usually have much issue with it. It's really more if it's compromised in some way. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed that the blood wasn't even necessarily from anything placenta-wise. The one thing that concerns me is that her uterus was really sensitive. Remember how sensitive she was? And when you have a placental abruption, it's usually somewhat painful. In people, patients usually feel moms usually feel wherever it occurred, they can usually feel it for a couple days. And Missy was pretty sore. Like when we would touch her belly, she would groan and grumble, and she would tense up. So she was guarding, and so that's another thing that kind of concerns me. But I want to remain optimistic because when I was pregnant, there were so many little things that, if I really thought hard about it, really sounded like it could be a problem. And there were just so many things that were just unexplainable that seemed alarming, like baby not feeling baby kick for a full day when I was 8 months pregnant, or even some innocuous bleeding, which is kind of common. Or I shouldn't say common, but it's it's not uncommon to have a bleeding during pregnancy that doesn't harm the pregnancy. And so I'm just remaining hopeful that that's just all it is. And even if she does have sensitivity in her uterus, it doesn't mean necessarily that a placenta was abrupting, that it was detaching from the wall. Hold on, I got a notification. Oh, no, it went away. Doesn't mean that necessarily that was happening, because there are just so many little things that, if it's a very, now this is just coming from me, this isn't what the vet said, but the reproductive tract, especially when pregnant, is a very, it's very vascular. You've got all that muscle for, childbirth, or I'm sorry, for delivery. And there's just a lot of blood flow. And so if any sort of injury or insult happens kind of along, like if they're wrestling, for instance, and if they're wrestling and Missy got knocked to the floor, it might like burst like not a capillary, but like it might there might be a little bit of blood that results just from that, those muscles getting strained. And it does happen in people, it happens in women, and they get very worried that very worried, and rightfully so, that they need to worry about the baby, just like we have been worrying about Missy. It was not like bright red blood, it wasn't like clotty blood, it wasn't concerning blood, and so that's another point in our favor. So we're remaining hopeful. In the index of our Bible, of our breeding Bible, the Book of the Bitch, they have every breed listed, and then they have like very just things that are important to know, like good reference statistics, and like one of them is litter size, and then there were some interesting statistics that I just thought were kind of eye-opening. But they said for Cavaliers, the average delivery resulted in 4 to 5 puppies. And then they said that the average registered litter count was 3 to 4 puppies, meaning that the average delivery, the average puppy count is 4 to 5, but on average, you'll have about 1 that doesn't survive anywhere in between conception and going home at 8 weeks, because it's the registration. These are statistics that were taken from like AKC. And so I found it very interesting because a lot of people aren't aware that it's actually very common for a litter to lose a puppy, especially in a higher count pregnancy. It's one of the reasons animals have they have litters, and they have more puppies than to replace just them and their dad, because they have to assume that a lot of them are not going to survive, right? And but it's really, really common for one of those to be within like that neonate period.
Minnie. Minnie.
And luckily, I think we have done a lot better than those statistics. I think we're probably more like half a puppy.
Bye.
I think less than half a puppy, less than every other litter. But like probably a little less than every other litter will have a runt puppy it just seems like the cells did not divide correctly, and their bodies just aren't compatible with life. And it's just like no matter how much we do, they just aren't able to nurse and gain and grow.
Mocha.
And so that's probably half of the puppies that we have that don't make it. And then probably of the others are just a combination of like tragedies of like birth injury, or delivery injury, whelping injury. Like in Paris's case, when she lost, when the puppy came out like backwards and wonky with her foot up, and footling breech. Yeah. But so that's why they have litters too, because that stuff happens. And Mother Nature is not planning for there to be me and him to be around for every litter that is born in the world, to be feeding them and nursing them back to health. And so it's just kind of planned, it's budgeted for in the dog kingdom that, the runts don't typically survive. But so Missy she's due in a week and a half. Paris, where is May? It's May downstairs. But we wanted to talk about reaching out to us, how to reach out to us. Alright, downstairs. No, Paris, no. Oh, I guess food's up. You can come play. If you're a family who is looking for a puppy or is looking for a Cavalier puppy or an ESA or we respectfully ask that you send us a message first before calling, because we have so much going on. Like, we get calls a lot of times during, like, when we're first starting live stream, like during this time. And it's a really difficult time to pick up the phone and talk to families. And we'd like to spend time talking to our families. And so it's usually like a 45-minute, hour-long phone call. That initial conversation, just kind of finding out your situation and what you're looking for, and then introducing ourselves to you and kind of like what our purpose is and what our goals are.
So if you call us, please understand that, like, we're not ignoring you. We're not just saying, fix this person. We want to see you and hopefully.
We need to like schedule it. It's difficult to answer a cold call.
Yeah.
And so if you can just send us a text message that introduces yourself to us, that lets us know like kind of who you are, because a lot of times we get phone calls just without a message and without a voicemail, and then they'll just call again and again and again. And we are not going to answer those calls because we want to know what we're kind of getting into. And we want to like have some sort of preparation for what the conversation is going to be. Like, are you looking for a puppy, or do you have a question that's like completely, we've received messages asking about breeding rights and all kinds of other things. So we want to know, it's just helpful for us to plan and organize if we kind of know what kind of conversation we're calling for. But we get that a lot where a family will call, they will call us without like, it'll be a cold call. They won't have like sent anything. And we don't pick up because it's really hard to pick up and just drop everything for 45 minutes. And so lately we've started to deny them, to try to encourage people to leave a message. But oftentimes we don't get left messages either, and so then they'll just call again and again and again, and it's not gonna encourage us to pick up, I promise. Especially with how busy things are going to be getting, how do I phrase this? We try to do as much as we can here, so that like the families of our litters families of our puppies can see. And we try to do as much of their care on a stream, so that you guys can be as a part of what we're doing as you can. And then we do the FaceTimes and the visits to try to to try to further that to help your own personal bonding with them. That's one-on-one, that we can't get through the live stream. They can't see you. It's just you seeing them. But so we have that stuff going on pretty much all the time, unless we don't have any puppies. But usually we have puppies, and if we have puppies, then we've got FaceTimes, we've got visits where we have the families that we're talking to, and so it's just everything we do just has to be planned, and so we just ask that you send us a message. We don't want to sound rude. We hate to be so like, I hate saying this to you guys. It's so hard. We've tried to do it. We've tried to just pick up calls when they come in, when a family has been just calling us, and it doesn't work. And the last time we did it was probably about 6 months ago, and we have more dogs now, and we have a very busy fall coming up. So you guys don't have any toys. And so it's just a lot easier, because if you introduce yourself, then that gives us an opportunity to respond and give you kind of like the written information, because a lot of the information we have for you, families we used to give over the phone, and families were always just writing it down as we were talking. And so a lot of that initial information is stuff that you're going to want to have written anyway, because there's dates, there's numbers, there's names, there's we're talking about different months and which litters are coming, and pricing, and like due dates, pickup weeks. It's just a lot of like good written information. And also, with that said, it's also information like things like price. If we're out of your price range, that's also something that we can just kind of get out of the way. If we're out of your price range and you want to find somebody that's a little bit less expensive, then although I don't want to make us sound expensive, because I don't think we're that expensive for what we do, but we don't want to waste your time, I guess, is kind of what I'm getting at. We don't want to waste your time. We don't want to waste our time. And so if like there's just a lot of small like little facts that might make or break whether or not you want a puppy from us. And so that's a lot of that's in the written information that we send out in the message in response to you. And so then you can kind of decide, okay, do I want to go forward with the phone call and talk to these people further? Or are they too creepy with us being in their house, and we want to move on to somebody who's not? So that's kind of we just find that it's so much more efficient, because we're able to knock phone calls out much faster and more efficiently when they're scheduled. And same with FaceTime. Oh no, Juno!
Again?
Yeah.
Aww.
I think she needs a new collar too. But like throughout all of this, we're also getting to know you. And so when you introduce yourself in the text message, it's, like we all learn in different ways, and things stick to memories in different ways. And so it just helps kind of too when we receive a message that says, "Hi, my name is Jennifer. I'm I found you through your website, or I've been watching your YouTube channel or something, and I'm looking for a puppy now or later or whatever." And that's another thing. Some families are not ready until like this winter, and it's actually working out real nicely. There's a couple families I responded to that are not interested yet, but just want to plan. And so like that's just another thing that's good for us to know. But having these little those additional conversations just help us get to know you guys better. And we don't want to like sit down and interview you. We like to just get to know our families casually. It's not like a big application process. We kind of just try to judge character, and um, we try to be we have our families over enough and try to be involved enough that we get to know our families on a level that I think most breeders don't. And like by the time families are picking their puppies, we know if there's a family in the group that we don't want one of our puppies to go home to. And we have had that happen. We it
No.
I don't think it got to the point where we had to actually say that we were screening them out, but I think that I think they kind of figured it out, just based on kind of our interactions.
Yes.
But like we've never had to tell a family like, no, you know what, I don't think your home is a good fit for us. But we have had families who inquired that we would not have homed our puppies with, and it's just worked out where in that process between them reaching out and reservation day, they decide that we aren't the breeder for them, and so they move on without us having to even tell them that we would have screened them out anyway. And so we want to just like wait, so because we don't want to have to tell families, because it doesn't mean you're a bad person, and we don't want anybody to feel that way. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It's just that some homes just aren't. Some homes are in some situations, it might not even be the home, just aren't the best for a Cavalier. And we have, with all the other families that we do have, we can just see that it's a situation where it just wouldn't come up, or we would have a puppy that would do better in their environment than the others. And so we want to avoid that conversation if we can. But a lot of times the families are able to figure it out for themselves. And so that's why we want to have these, we kind of do it casually like this, rather than like an interview application process and you're approved. Or that's what we don't like about Good Dog. It's like you got to apply and you approve or deny, and it just was so, I don't know, it seemed kind of slimy to me. Yeah, it's like it's taking it to. I feel Good Dog had a very good. They have a very good idea and a purpose and a mission, but their implementation is very. It's shady, and it's making sure that the middleman gets their cut, and they're not shy about it, and it's to the point where it's making me. It's almost they're. They seem to be kind of forgetting that, like, losing sight of what they're standing for, because they seem to be really, I don't know. We were with Good Dog for a while. I mean, we still are, but we don't use that. We don't really list there anymore. We just kind of have our profile there. But they did a lot of shady things with our families, and we don't like to, when we talk to our families, where Good Dog was just, if a family tried, if the way I was wording it wasn't going to work. If a family tried to inquire, they just responded and said, "What's your card information? There's going to be a deposit of $500." And just to initiate a conversation, they required them to enter their card information, and they didn't make them like put down a deposit. But they were so confusing about it in the wording that a lot of families thought that they were. And when I looked at it myself, I logged in as a buyer, and to me, that's what it sounded like. It sounded like you were putting down $500 in order to talk to them, and so we had a lot of confused families, and it is not at all. They just wanted to ask questions, yeah, and it's not our approach at all to respond like that. And so, yes, coughed up. And so, we were sending people over to our website because there's a little chat function on there that you don't have to put your card information into. But they, if there was somehow a message that got started on my end, it would do the same thing where I couldn't reply with how did it do it? I can't quite remember. In order, basically, it made it so that the only way for me to reply was to basically we had to agree that we were forcing the family to pay through Good Dog. And I remember telling families like, hey, if you find us on Good Dog, you can email us over here. You don't have to pay for them because they've got all kinds of hidden fees. And it was ridiculous because it was to the point where it was like they were just making money off of like any communication or just like just us trying to talk to families. Oh, what's that going? The thing needs to be, didn't turn it. There we go. Sorry about that. There we go. Aw, Paris. Puppies! I brought the toy box out and then didn't grab any toys. But so the Good Dog, their idea is really good, and we really liked their mission. I mean, that's what drew us to them. Oh, go potty there, go potty there. Because we didn't, at the time, we didn't really know how to. Oh yeah, this. So, we didn't really know how to find families. We didn't know how to reach out to families that, because I guess we have a particular type of family. There are houses and homes and families that wouldn't be ideal for our puppies, and so that was kind of when we found Good Dog, was trying to find a way to connect with families who were looking for like a certain type of Cavalier, the ESA Cavaliers or ESA puppies. You go potty. We all need potty breaks. You can go potty. Hey, Mocha and Amelia. Oh dang! I still have my coffee. Leave her alone. You go potty. Go potty. Go potty. Go potty. Yeah, go potty. Go potty, Amelia. Oh, I gotta trim their little toenails. I can't forget. I need to trim their toenails. Hey, 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 hey. Okay. Girls, what's the matter? You guys are all playing so rough these days. What happened? Oh no. Good girl, Amelia. Good girl, Amelia. Go potty. Oh, potty, I know you gotta go. You keep going back. Oh, stop, Minnie. I know you gotta go. I know you gotta go. Go potty. Oh, Pommy's playing with Juno over here. Oh. Oh no, I missed it. Thank you, SS, for this wonderful blanket. Mocha just pooed. She christened it with her poo. Mocha.
Mocha.
Who else?
Why don't you do that right there? Mocha.
But it's awesome because that blanket's been caught. Has caught all their accidents. They've peed on it like 3 times. Oh my goodness, girls! The one right outside the. Double check with me though, because I'm kind of making some assumptions. You guys are so rough with each other these days. What happened? No.
Oh my.
Jennifer Walter, I think what you're talking about is just like a psych service dog. And so we don't, the psych service dog training, that's training that you would do on your own. And that's what we recommend, we really recommend people to, I think I said NP. Because there's just so much, so many locales are, I'll just click it. The ESA laws have been taken advantage of so much by those who don't actually need ESAs that unfortunately it's really ruined a lot of the privileges and rights that ESA handlers and dogs have had. And so we really recommend that if you need your ESA, like I need Daisy. I mean, if you watch our live stream at all, you've probably seen me and Daisy, or know about May and Paris. If you need your ESA to feel comfortable that you're going to be able to get through the next day, then that's where we recommend that you go that next step and certify them as a psychiatric service dog. And then they're fully protected as a service dog. They are under the umbrella of service dogs, under the Disability Act, under the ADA. And families can do that in kind of a number of ways. So, I'm going to back up a little bit. The training that we do with them is to prepare them to be therapeutic animals. The training and the way that we raise them is to prepare them to be very in tune to people's emotions. We are teaching them to how to kind of tune out the noise around them and focus on just one person. Those are some of our goals as we raise them, and that's kind of what's going to make us a little bit different than the Cavalier breeder in the next town. That sort of training, we do that so that they can, that makes them basically ripe to be a support animal, an emotional support animal, or a therapy dog. And oh, you're so sweet. I love that picture of you and me. Oh. And so, you know, we started doing this when we realized how beneficial ESAs are and just how amazing the Cavalier breed is to be for ESA dogs. And so we raise them so that they can to truly help like nurture those attributes of the breed and to try to help bring them out. We pay close attention to like the mom's personalities because the mom's personalities really rub off on the puppies. Our puppies, like all of Daisy's puppies, all have a little spunk to them. No matter how dominant or submissive, they're all spunky puppies. Like they have a little bit of their mom's personality, and I think it just kind of rubs off when they're raising them. But and so, but you can train them to be a psychiatric service dog in a few different ways. They're, you know, it's a very personal thing, and so it's usually done in a more private setting. Some families have done it like with their therapists involved. Their therapist kind of help them come up with the task, and because for your dog to be a service dog, they need to be trained to perform they need to be trained to perform a specific task that is like related to your disability, and it can be very simple, and those are all things that you kind of figure out while training, and but there's online modules that you can take that you can like purchase and then kind of go through them and train your dog, and I think you take them then to be certified to like pass tests and whatever. That's kind of what we're going to do with Paris. We want to train her kind of in the home, like privately. But we really recommend that if you need your ESA to, like, a good example of how things kind of got ruined for ESA families is one big exception that ESA families were granted was on airplanes. They were allowed to have their ESAs in their laps. And so that was one big spot where the ESA abused because I don't know how it used to be 20 years ago, but right now, as it is now, all you need is a letter from a mental health professional. It has to be they have to be licensed a certain way. There's some licenses that are eligible and others that, like, you have to be a certain rank. And it's just not, it doesn't require any special training. And because it doesn't require any special training, it's very easy for anybody to kind of sign up for, so to speak. And so people who didn't necessarily need a support animal, but just wanted to have their dogs on the plane or in their lap would say, oh, well, I have all of these issues and this is my support animal. And so it was getting abused because, you know, when they came up with that different legislation, they were taking into account, you know, out of how many dogs that we are flying, how many do you think are actually ESAs that are going to be out in the cabin? And so they're doing that math, and, you know, there's not, you know, of the population of dogs being transported on planes, you know, not all of those are going to be ESAs. Very few of them actually are probably going to be ESAs. But, you know, as it turned out, you know, everybody was flying their dogs as ESAs so that they could have them in their laps. And so that was one thing that got kind of taken away from, as an ESA right that got taken away was ESAs were no longer allowed to fly on laps in the cabin. They went back to being under the the seat in front of you. And the reason that one bothers me a lot is because flying is a very big thing for people with anxiety, and a lot of people who have ESAs, it kind of just like goes hand in hand. When you have anxiety, you know, flying on airplanes is a lot of times going to be an anxiety-inducing experience, and so families who have ESAs, when they fly on vacations, it would be really nice if they were able to have their dog in their lap where they need them, when they're taking off and when they're landing. And so that one just like, I don't know, that one that that one being taken advantage of just bothers me, because I mean, I don't need Daisy in my life when I'm flying, but I know that there are people who really, really struggle with it, and I know how much she resolves my anxiety in other situations. And so it just, I don't know, my heart goes out to those who have their ESAs, you know, and can't, that no longer have that ability. That's, I don't know, I know it's a little problem to most, but for some people, it's a big problem. Hi, sweetie. Hi, Delilah. You're such a good girl. Yes, you are. And I've got Charlie here trying to come see me. I know, I'm sorry. And I'm busy yapping. I know. Oh, I know. We have received some inquiries that asked if we sell breeding rights. Right now, we're only selling our dogs as pets. We raise our dogs for a real specific purpose, and they don't have to go to homes that need them as animals or as therapy dogs. The kind of training that we do with them still helps make them into really well-rounded family dogs. And so they're still really good companion dogs. And so we'll let families who are not looking for ESAs, um, we'll take those families as well. But what we don't want to do is send our puppy home to somebody who's just using them to breed, because even if they're doing it only once a year, even if they're following like proper guidelines, just because we put a lot of work into them being this sort of therapeutic animal, and so their life purpose isn't meant to be a mom, and we don't want that to be what's made for them, if we can help it at all. So, um, you know, we raise our puppies a certain way. We have a sort of a mission of sorts, and we put a lot of work into it, and we take a lot of pride in it. And so, if a family is looking for a puppy just to breed, um, for one, I mean, we have other families that are looking for this specially trained puppy. Whereas if you're just looking to breed, you can get one from somebody who's not doing all these extra things with, because we have so many families that we have to turn down every time we have a litter. And so we just think it would be a better fit if you are looking for a dog to breed. It would be a better fit to go to a breeder who probably doesn't have as much focus on all of their social development. You know, because their purpose isn't to be breeding, and so we don't. For a short time, we were allowing it, and it just never really sat right with us watching our puppies go home. And so we just, I mean, we suspended this breeding rights, the sale of breeding rights, and I don't know if we're ever gonna do it. I don't think we'll go back to it. Kind of breaks our hearts to think of, like, look at our little girls and think about them going off and just having puppies. And I feel like we hold ourselves to high standards with our moms, and I don't trust that when we send these sweet little females home, that they're going to be given the same queen treatment, sleeping in the master bedroom, and having their puppies, with mom and dad. Like we're just not comfortable with it, and so alteration agreement is in every purchase contract. We don't put a deadline on it. That's the one thing we don't agree with. Is some breeders will say when they have the alteration agreement, they'll say, I'm sorry, they'll say it has to be done by 12 months or such and such time. Usually 12 months is what they say. But a lot of vets are, and I kind of agree with this. I like this idea. They're moving more towards Minnie, hey. They're moving more towards allowing your dogs to go through puberty and then fixing them, rather than fixing them on the earliest side and for the convenience of avoiding heat cycles. I hate to break it to you, but in my experience, fixing your males on the earlier side does not help marking. It makes it a lot worse. We had a couple of males growing up that we fixed, and then I had another male later on that we had fixed at, I think, like 4 months old, and all of them marked so much more than the dogs that were fixed after like 12 months. And I don't know what the relationship is between that, but what I can say is that it makes a lot of sense that you wouldn't take your kids and bring them as mature as like age 10 and then prevent puberty, and then when they turn 18 expect adult behavior and adult decision making and adult understanding of their world. When they have they need their hormones do so much more than just sex characteristics. They help them mature and develop, and their brains continue to grow, and they develop naturally. And so it's still important to fix your dogs, but it's not bad to, in fact, it's probably healthier to let them go through those natural periods of development. Let them have their hormones surge, let them develop their muscles. If you have, your boys, let them develop their muscles, and fill out before you cut off the that supply of sex hormones. Basically, let them develop and then remove the source. It's not going to result in anything. At least the macchiato is. It's like, I don't know if I can say ORGY, but we have all three moms that are going into heat, and macchiato are just, they're all licking each other. There's Robin on Remy, and macchiato is enjoying the show, and then he. Paris. Oh, it's just an owie. I mean, it'll happen. It's gonna hurt. Yeah, it's gonna hurt. So sweet. You guys aren't able to see, but we have Paris right over here laying with Delilah, and Pom Pom right here with Minnie. Oh, darn it. He's there. And Robin keeps mounting Remy, and then Myra's not doing anything right now, but Macchiato's was interested. Basically, the three girls are into each other, and Macchiato's kind of like walking around watching and kind of licking. And the girls keep switching who's mounting each other. It's a very polygamous situation. Macchiato, go check out the girls. This is where, so it worked for Remy. When Macchiato was like, I don't know what to do with this. We brought Spike through, and after Macchiato saw Spike's reaction to Remy all ready to go into heat, we brought Spike back out, and then Macchiato knew what was up and he knew what to do. And I was doing math. Her heat cycle is not early at all. No, Remy. It's not early. It's around time. Her heat cycle last time was in January, and she delivered it in March. Yeah. So if anything, it's been a little bit late. Hey, girl. Hey. Because you're so sweet. Yes, you're sweet. I think for when we have when we do reservations for not for Missy's litter, but for when we have the 3 moms that are having their puppies all at the same time, I think that's when we will because we've had families. This is a request that we get. It's a consistent request over and over again, and it's one that we can implement and would work. But we've had families ask if they could basically purchase a guaranteed puppy selection from a litter. And so because this is like an experimental thing that we want to try to address the issue with families having to like hurry up and text us. We realize that that's not very, it's not many. A lot of people just aren't, place over. It went down to like 3 days and then 3 hours, and now it's 30 seconds. And so we really did it because we could let families approach us and pick which puppy, and or we could let them know who was left, and they pick from there, and it was good. But now we don't have enough puppies for any litter. We always have families that we have to discipline. Can I have my robe on? And so we've had families asking if it started probably about a year ago. We started having families ask if they could, if there's any way. They basically offered to give us extra money to like reserve a guaranteed spot. And we wanted to remain fair with everybody, so we never, of course, did that. But we did want to consider it for the future to like add something to offer people. And so when we have 3 moms with 3 litters, I think when we have that many puppies, I think that's a good time to kind of start experimenting.
Yeah, and so
see if that works.
Something we were thinking about doing was for each litter, going forward from here, for each litter, basically doing an auction where we offer the first, second, and third pick of the litter. Basically those picks at an auction, and then
each litter almost always has like a first, second, and third that people are like dying over. And I remember our first Minnie was one of them, and in Daisy's litter, who was it in Daisy's litter?
I can't remember.
Well, there's I'm thinking of in Remy's litter, Turquoise, Snowflake, the Snowflake fiasco.
Yeah, the Snowflake fiasco.
When we have a litter that has like a clear favorite, it's difficult when we have a one favorite and then a backup favorite, and then everybody else is kind of like equal on everyone else. And so We're kind of hoping it might help balance some of that. And then it'll help us kind of get an idea of which one, because what we would do is we would, well, I'm thinking of reservation day.
Yeah.
Missing.
Weird. That was the idea, was possibly offering.
Oh, I haven't said good morning to all of you guys. I'm so sorry. Good morning.
Turn.
That was Walter. Good morning, Walter. Walter. Good morning. I guess it's afternoon almost.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Oh, geez. Not almost. After.
Yeah.
Definitely after.
Definitely after the noons.
Oh, the cat. So the reason for the late start today, poor May, when she was, Spike was at it again. When May was out at the cat shack last night cleaning the litter box, Spike bolted into the cat shack, and this is where it's really important to make sure your dogs respect your children as alpha to them, because even though they're your children and the dogs are still submissive, they're still beta to your children. Children are always alpha to the dogs. But anyway, Spike bolted because kids can be hesitant to be authoritative with their dogs, especially. But Spike bolted past her, and Sammy went running out and up the tree. And poor May, she sat out there last night until 3 o'clock in the morning, waiting up for her. Waiting her out, trying to see if she would come down. She did come down at one point, and May thinks because it was dark, and she got up to see if she could get her. And she said she got up slowly, but she said she turned and looked at her and thinks that all she could see was her silhouette because it was dark and there was lights behind her. And so then she turned around and ran back up the tree. So we're going to get some wet cat food and bring that out to try to coax her down. Poor May is worried sick, and we keep telling her that Sammy's she's not leaving, she's not going anywhere, she's just scared because Spike had to be a doofus and be Spike.
Ah, jeez.
You.
Yeah. Well, Miss Minnie is being a goofball.
Yeah, you need some mouth looking.
It's getting really painful.
Oh, apparently
Put it on it.
yeah.
Super sensitive.
Then put a band-aid on it.
Alright, they know. You just gonna stare at it. They're
What's
all.
up?
Spike's outside, so don't go.
Oh.
Wait, where's Sammy?
She's outside. But see, I was also thinking that with the kittens, I was also thinking we could bring Cutie Pie.
Bye.
What's her name? Cutie Pie, Lovely.
Cutie Pie,
Here we go.
long shot, Loki. I don't know.
Cutie Pie, Lovely. Here we go. We could bring her outside and try to coax Sammy down with her baby.
Bill actually changed it. It's here we go.
Oh, she just rotates.
Yeah, she just changed.
Because she said it was here we go, lovely.
Yeah, it's Cutie Pie, Lovely. Here we go. But I told her that I'm not keeping track of the daily rotation
Oh my
of
god.
the names.
I don't need more. Oh, hey, go back down.
I found a marble.
Okay.
You are such a good girl. You are such a good girl. See, I just want to play. Here it is.
It's falling.
Stop looking for everybody's food.
Oh grab the top.
Oh, before I put them back into their pen, I want to vacuum it up.
There we go. It won't fall anymore.
Needs to be clean. Needs to be
Guys,
clean. It's
so
lovely.
it was off
It's
of it.
lovely.
It was off.
Yeah.
The gasoline was off.
You guys are.
Sorry.
You are so cute. You're so sweet. You know that? You know that? You're a sweetie pie.
No.
You're a sweetie pie. Hi, Paris. You puppies look like you really do. You look like you. What are you doing?
You are such a good girl. You are such a good girl. You are such a good girl. Yes, you are. You're such a good girl. You're such a good girl. You're so wiggly. You're so wiggly. Ferris. You're so wiggly. Where are you going? You're a good girl, Paris. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Ah, it's my titties. It's my titties. It's my titties. Hi. You are so wiggly. I'm so wiggly. Hi. Alright, I'm going to move this over
It probably might not make it past the loop.
so that you guys can see them. I'm going
Oh, maybe
to,
past the
I want to
loop.
clean up their pen a little tiny bit before I put them in there to
Let's
nap.
start again. Come on, let's do it. No, Bella. You were at the top.
Bradley, can you please stop showing?
Sorry. I made it. Did it turn again? It fell off when it turned.
Bradley, Bella just said don't start yet.
Okay, you ready, Bella?
Bradley, she just said don't start yet.
She's ready now.
Okay. Minnie, what are you doing, goofball?
It can't make it past that first loop.
Alright. Let's shake this out.
Bella, it can't make it past the first loop. What, Bella? I don't know how to make it. I'm keeping it from falling. Bella!
Okay, bye. your little bed to lay on. Here you go, my doodles. There you go. Let's in here. You clean up your pen, okay? Your pen is filthy. We gotta clean it up, puppies. It's filthy. We gotta clean your pen. We gotta clean your pen.
Dad, what is noon to 1:30?
What?
What's noon to 1:30?
I said lunch is from
Oh.
noon until 1:30.
But like that's an appointment or something.
Are we feeling that puppy? Yep. Hello.
Well, you're
Trickers.
Look at this puppy. Oh,
Daisy, come on. No, Daisy.
dogs.
Doing Matthew's bedroom would really brighten up the house a little. Get to Matthew's bedroom. Like if we had that door open,
my little puppy.
it would be nice to have it. Three purple ones to have his bedroom. It just feels so.
I'm sorry.
It feels like we have a shrine. Like
Dad,
we're
my
like
three
one
little
on
puppies.
forward.
Look, Daisy. Look, Myra. Look, Daisy.
The dogs.
But like with the dogs right here, and you know, like it's a perfect spot for an office.
Look at this up, guys. I think we're safe.
Mom,
Where are you going?
you really attacked a damn
Whoa. Duh. Okay, what was that? What just happened?
Again, it didn't work.
Ah, so hairy. So much fur. Oh, God.
She has one. Her, I think it's password.
I got high school. Let me fix this. Careful, puppies. I'm fixing it. Hey! There's a puppy lying over here. Oh, there you guys are. Oh no. Puppies! Where'd all the puppies go? Oh, there are only 4 over here. The rest of the 2 are under the table. No Sean Pong Pong. Hello, puppies. Oh, Mocha loves playing with Daisy. Daisy! No! Play with Mocha. Daisy! Play with the puppies. The puppies want to play with you. No, Daisy. Play with the puppies first. Oh, you want to play with Harold? Daisy. Daisy. Daisy, Mocha wants to play with you. Not making Mocha feel sad. Play with Mocha. Play with Mocha. Play with Mocha. No. Play with Mocha first. Hey, Amelia. Hey, who's over there? Juno. Juno. Mocha. Mocha, you're playful. Mocha. Mocha. No, I'm close.
I know you need to help you with something in the meantime. But like when you were little, it's just
You-
I'll
make sure you fit.
Their pen is all vacuumed, but I think they're happy to play for a little bit more now.
Mocha was trying to play with Daisy, but Daisy was growling at her. Daisy needs to be more nice with the puppies.
Daisy.
Daisy, you want the puppies to play with you?
They're gonna move.
Yeah.
That's not your bed. There, you go to the bedroom.
Oh, jeez, good wet spot.
Where?
There.
Oh. Here.
We're moving, guys. We're moving.
Come
coming back now that Daisy's gone. Amelia, Mocha, hang on, we're moving. Mom, they're on a ship.
Delilah, are you playing Mom?
Oh, you're silly. Are you the ocean? Yep. And they're and my clothes are the ship.
Yeah.
And they're the sailors.
You're so silly.
Do you want to join? Do you want to join and be another sailor? This is what you got yourself into. Okay, I'll let you guys sleep. I don't want to make you guys sick. Oh, you leaving? Okay, I hope you liked our ride. Is that how you want me to pay you? You're supposed to pay me. I'm not supposed to pay you.
Are you ready to come back here?
Hey, what do you want to do? I don't know. I'm playing with the puppies. They're on an awesome ride. Oh, I can hardly move.
No, you can't do that.
Mom, I'm playing. I'm gonna play with pups.
No, you need to crisscross applesauce, no rocking boats, okay? Bella, no boat rocking.
Can I do this?
That's broken.
Well, yeah, that's boat rocking. I don't want Bella to, if Bella tries to do what you do, it's okay when you do it, Bradley, and the puppies really like it. It's just that what happens is Bella sees you doing it, and she wants to do it too, and then she kind of gets carried away. She underestimates how strong she is. But it's because she thinks what you're doing looks fun and cool, so try to take it as a compliment, okay?
If you stare right here for a while, it looks like a cartoon. Hey, no playing on the boat crate. This is already a ride, and you can't. You're gonna have to pay me once you get off the ride.
Oh, Paris, now I don't have
Mom, why can't I do the boat ride?
Mason here, Paris.
Oh, do you want to get on? Okay, the max is 4.
Come on,
Okay,
Paris.
the max is 4. You are the last one.
Mom,
Yeah.
why can I do it?
What?
Why can I do it?
You can hold a puppy.
Like,
No, yeah, brother, stop rocking.
Okay, no boat rocking.
Like I said, she's gonna copy.
why can I do it?
Because nobody can do it.
Mocha almost fell off.
Can I do it?
No. You can, what you can do is just rock very gently, like how we rockabye, okay? Going rockabye, Bella? You can rockabye.
Oh, look at Mocha. Mocha loves being on her back.
She does. They all really like to be on their backs.
But if they're on their back too long, they get scared. Go on the
It's
side.
all being free.
Make room. Make room for them. And now you guys like snuggle each other.
Hey, bro, this book's free. You can get all of them.
Bro, your max is 1. My max is 3.
Large.
I can. And no, Bella. No, Bella. Why I can hold 3 is because my boat is way bigger than yours.
What's this marble $1.
And guess what? A lot of people are gonna line up at yours because it's free. And they're gonna have to wait forever because there's so many people there and it's free. And look at this.
What are you talking about?
These are the only people that come to mine.
But I don't think yours. This one will be only for 1. And everyone will continue.
Amelia likes it. Same with Mocha. Same with
Okay.
this one.
Good pup.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
You can go.
Oh, is her time up?
Uh-huh. For the game to drink.
Oh, what? They want to nurse. These 3 puppies want to sleep on my boat ride.
Oh,
up. She wants to nurse. She wants to nurse.
What?
You want
Cinnamon tank is ready.
Cinnamon and the cake.
Cinnamon tank.
Cinnamon cake.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mocha. Oh my god, you're getting pushed off. Make her. I want you again. I don't want you getting pushed off. Oh! I guess 4 can fit. Because they can overlap. 4. Yeah, 4 or 5. 5 could probably fit as my max. 3 little puppy ducks. Pups. Can I fit another one? Let's see. Curve. Go to bed. I know, comfortable.
It's this thing where it's
Right there.
on this account, they have to be signed in order to open it on someone else's account.
Okay, my max is 4. It's like a puzzle. My puzzle has 4 pieces. Pretty easy to solve. You got 1 curve, 1 straight, a little curve, and a straight. And this is how you solve it. Pretty easy. Airplane, so can't do double decker. Will hurt the puppies underneath.
Dad, look. I'm on my last bite.
Oh,
You're on your last bite.
oh my god, jerk. Okay, everybody understand this paper. Okay, there's less room now. Oh, you need to sweat.
Dad put his hand in it.
In what?
And he made sure.
In the blender?
Yeah.
Did his hand get cut off?
Yeah.
I doubt,
Disgusting.
I doubt that.
Huh? Why did you doubt that?
Alright, I gotta put the puppies away because I need my phone back so I can make some videos.
Okay. Well, my max is 4 puppies.
My max is 2 puppies.
Okay.
But it's pretty. Alright. It's $100.
Puppies, it's time to go back. Oh.
Hold on, I'm not ready for them yet.
Oh, okay.
Fine. It's $100. How much max? How much does yours? 4. Mine is 100.
Oh,
Sorry, I just don't want them to be covered.
a puppy got off my ride.
Minnie.
Minnie doesn't want to be on my ride anymore.
I'm almost close to yours.
Be careful for waves. Minnie back.
You guys gotta be by the line.
Where has Carter been all day? Downstairs playing Zelda.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
to get moving.
You were about like free. I was watching you like 10 million times when you said the boat was free.
Oh no, oh no, oh no.
You said the boat was free and please leave.
No, it's 4.
Whoa, Minnie. Oh no. No, I was watching you on TV.
There's no jumping off while the ride's moving.
All your customers will go to you.
Man, okay.
All the customers will go to you.
My leg hurts really bad. Oh god.
One. Where are you? There? Hello. Oh, you want to get on? Let's get on here to ride. Hi, Minnie.
Those are series X. Yeah,
Whoa.
or series XS.
This is
They're all
the
compatible with every
this
Xbox.
is the cozy bed place.
This is the cozy bed place too.
Hey, and mine can hold like
Oh,
10
yeah.
people. Mine
I
can
think
hold 10
Microsoft
puppies.
has
So you can lay right here, right here, right here, right here.
Mine
right here,
can hold.
right
the-
here.
Mine
right
can
here.
hold 3.
Mine can hold 10 puppies.
Mine
Oh, yeah.
can hold
the
10 hundred. Or mine can hold.
Bella, they don't want to be on your ride.
Mocha. Hi.
Plug and play.
Hi, Mocha.
Mocha.
Microsoft
Mocha.
ones are exclusive, but the third-party ones.
Mocha. I love this one.
I would say the Microsoft one has lasted
Minnie.
very long.
Look at this one.
Not. Oh, Bella, you're in front of the line.
I love it.
Mocha, are you getting tired? I know these puppies are sleeping. Bella, you're in front of the line. You're in front of the line.
The black can see your face.
Guys, live's not supposed to be seeing you guys are supposed to be seeing the puppies.
Just
Who's
like,
the,
like overall charge.
Who's the boy puppy?
Yeah.
Charlie.
Charlie.
Because mine,
Oh,
I don't
puppies.
think I've actually noticed anything.
Oh, Bella, move.
I've had mine
I'm gonna put the puppies back.
for almost 4 years now, actually.
No, no.
Time to go, Amelia.
Okay. Really,
Bella. Bella. Stop.
But then I changed color immediately. Changed color immediately. Is that the same like keto thing we had last time? Is that the same keto thing we had last time?
No, this one's different. Now, the keto one was one of these.
I know. You know what you should do? So you should push the video. And you know how Mocha is covered in black fur? You should have this bed, and you should fold her 5 times, you should see if people can find the Mocha.
You can find the Mocha puppy.
Uh-huh. Find the Mocha puppy on the bed.
She likes to hide.
Uh-huh. But you'll have to clean the bed so it's less obvious.
Yeah.
Your foyer. How about you need some lunch?
Follow me.
Mocha!
It only works on marble. Right.
Said it went down the hole.
It went in the hole. What hole? Follow me. What hole?
The marble went down the hole.
Not out. Open the hole. What hole? Follow me. I have a ton of coconut waters.
Be careful walking around puppies.
Oh yeah. They're not going down that much. Oh, it went in there. I was wondering what, like, when you said what hole, and you said it went down the hole.
It made it at the end.
Into the ballroom?
Yeah.
Oh.
Bella, stop shouting.
Is it stuck? Dad, I only got one coconut water, like you said. Because I have my lights. Just kidding. I have two. What?
He says, "Where are you doing?" This one's slap.
Hey, Dad, can I have an olive? Dad, can I have an olive?
No, you already had one out of the last one.
I only had two. Hey, Dad, watch me. Dad, watch me. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do an olive. Ow, my back. Yeah, I did. Oh God, I put my fingers in it. It's so cold.
Mocha.
I felt weird. Like, what was the last one? Like, it felt like something was wrapping around my fingers. Oh, I'm so thirsty. I know, Chris. Fine, I'll make some lunch. Hey, Dad, I'm gonna make a cheeseburger. Yeah, I'm not gonna make a cheese sandwich. I'm gonna make a cheeseburger. Why can't I make a cheeseburger? No, why would I do that? What even is that? Oh, what's it? There's nothing to eat. Dude, I don't like those Lunchables. That's not good. They're not the same.
Bradley, if that's not gonna work for you, find something that does. Instead of pointing out all the things that won't work, let's start looking at the things that will.
Can I have a Twinkie?
That's not lunch, Bradley.
What if you have a lunch bowl and you finish lunch bowl, you
Can you guys see Delilah? So I have the stream set up for them to go back over to their pen. When I stop this one, the new stream that's set up in their pen will automatically load. So if you want to find us over on that stream, it'll be real easy. If you just hate, it'll pop up in your browser. Otherwise, thank you for joining us. I hope that even if you can't stay with us, that you'd come back and join us again soon. You can always catch us at the same place every day, same time. Might be different puppies. But thanks for joining us. I hope we see you again soon.